Donnaleigh. This is going to be a video on how to simplify runes, so runes made easy for you. There are a lot of great books out there on runes. Here are just a couple of my favorites. I like the one by Lisa Pichel. It's a very good book, and what I would suggest you do is that if you get this book, on the back there's a blank page. I actually ended up writing all the runes, their names, and what page they can be found on. There's actually two separate pages they can be found on here, front and the back. I would just add those in there so that you can look them up quick. So if you pick up this one and you're wondering what it means, it's Gifu, go to this page or this page. The first page for me is usually the best, but the second one's a backup. So that's a good one. The other one that's excellent for understanding and remembering them is Runes for Transformation by Kedrick Olson. He was on Beyond Worlds. This is a really excellent book that breaks down the runes into some simple meanings, and he gives some great true life examples so that you can kind of make applications to their meaning a little bit easier. So those are the two books I recommend. So here we go. So we're going to take them out of order. You're going to usually see runes in books arranged the same way. I'm going to arrange them in such a way that will help you remember. So I have similar looking and similar meaning runes grouped together to help you remember. As usual, we usually have flashcards, and we have a flashcard for this. You're just going to take an index card, you're going to cut it in half with scissors, and we'll be making little flashcards like this. So that's Isa, and then the meanings on the back. And I'll show you how to do it in my blog, which I will put the link under this video. It's going to list all these meanings so that you can write them right on your own index cards, but I do recommend you do them. I'll be doing some memory triggers for you to help you remember these. I am not going to be worried about you remembering each of the runes' names, but I do want you to know their basic meanings, because I want you, after these videos, to be able to pick up a rune and know what it means. I want you to put them right to work. So we'll get started so you can kind of get your kickstart with runes. First of all, I have this rune. You'll notice it looks like an F. That's because that actually is what it represents. And F is for finances. Think of worth. This actually is based on an old meaning of cattle. And if you think of it, it may actually look like their antlers a little bit. But when you look at the meanings of this, think of F, financial worth, the value of something, prosperity. When you had cattle, that was how you traded things. If you had a dowry, you might want to trade a few cows for that future wife. So the F is going to be money, value. How much is something worth? So if we look at that in terms of the runes, how much are these runes worth to you? You might buy this for a set of runes for maybe $25, but what is it worth to you in terms of how you use it? Maybe it's worth more. So think of worth. Next, you'll notice this one looks very similar. Notice how the prongs go down. Think of financial value as up. This is down. And think of this as an antenna, because this is how we transmit knowledge, communication, wisdom. You might even think of things flying over the internet with this one. So this is our thoughts and our words, and that's how we learn. We learn from each other and gain wisdom. These are signals. So think of this as an antenna. So we've got finances and worth. We've got antenna. Now this one looks different, but it has a similar meaning to the worth, the financial worth. This one has to do with property, inheritance, and home. I want you to think of it as standing up, like this is, if this is a diamond and it's standing up on something, it's propped up. It might be passed on down to you like a ring. If you think of this as a diamond ring on a band. But this is basically inheritance, your legacy, what you leave behind, how things are passed on, what you come with. So in terms of the runes, they come to us with a meaning that is based on something before it. So for example, when we talked about this, finances, this is Fehu, this is based on cattle and cattle's worth. So that's its legacy, its inheritance. It inherited the meaning through that. Okay, so when we think of this, it could be land, buildings, things we pass on, inheritance, possessions, traits that are carried on perhaps through families or from birth. If you asked how did they get this medical condition and this came up, it might be something inherited. Also can be somebody that's consumed by their ideals. That's a little bit of a different meaning, but we'll just base this right now on legacy. So the stable value of something, how it continues to be used generation after generation, how it's developed based on its history. So 3 cards of worth. So I want you to think again, which one is this? That's our antenna and communication, learning and wisdom. Which one is this? Up with finances, worth, cattle. What's with this? That's what's being passed down, inheritance. If we think of this as how it applies to the runes, it's how do the runes communicate with us? What is their voice? What is shared between you and your runes when you throw them down on the casting cloth? That's their voice. Thoughts and words that you obtain through them. Okay, so those are our first 3. Now I'm going to give you some a little different. I'm going to give you 2 of stasis. So we have, first of all, this looks like the letter I, doesn't it? Well, it is. This is for ice, and it looks like an icicle. Up and down, frozen. It does mean frozen. It can mean a cooling relationship, but basically it means you're stuck. Frozen. Think of something in the ice. It's rigid. It's there. So that's an easy one to remember because it's just ice and it's just started. This looks similar, but you'll notice it has a slash through it. And this is about needs. So what are the needs of something? So if we think about the needs of the rune, what are the needs for runes? Well, you've got to have, some people might need a spread with spread positions. Some people might need another oracle to use in combination with. Some people might need a bit more study than other people. Some people might need to know the history of them to really understand them. You might need a book. So this is about needs. It's about constraints. The ice is kind of cut through. This is about what's necessary to do something. It can be about delays, because when you need something you have to stop and pack it or stop and get it, and that just means have some patience. Those needs have to be fulfilled before we get somewhere. So even though they're constraints, you're still on your way somewhere. So we've got our icicle and being frozen, little slash through it. We've now got needs, a little bit different. So let's take what we know in this video. I'm just going to shuffle up the cards, and I'm going to give you a little quiz and see if you can guess what these are. Okay, so here's a quiz for you. See if you can guess what the meanings of these cards are. And that's it. You've completed the first video. Congratulations.